Welcome to Indian Council of Medical Research Online Prescription Skill Course 2020 for Indian medical graduate. And after viewing this video, you will be given the 5 multiple choice question. On this video, you can give the feedback, and at the same time, you will also find the assignment in the section. I am Professor Vikas Medi, and today I am going to talk about modules on elderly. So, coming to the modules on prescribing for elderly, this is from PGI Chandigarh. What are the learning objective of this module? As you can see that Indian medical graduates should be able to justify after watching this video in order to understand that there is a difference of pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic in case of elderly, and also the pharmacological response is different in case of elderly, and you have to be particularly very careful when you treat the patient with renal and hepatic dysfunction. Compliance is as much as important, and very important point is, can you avoid that polypharmacy? So, usually practice is that every problem you prescribe the medicine, and also very important that not all medicine are important. Also, you have to think of alternative therapy for elderly if it is possible. So, outline of this presentation, that I would like to say that why this topic is very important, as geriatric population is growing up in countries like India. So, along with that, we will give you the background, what are the points you need to be very careful, and what are the points you need to be avoided, and supported by case studies, and we will also carry on the take home message, and you can read it from the reference material. Coming to this point, that why this topic is very important. As you say that when the drug is developed, we have tried in control population, that is in healthy volunteers or in adult. So, usually you do not have much information that how the drug is going to behave in geriatric population. Once it is approved, once it comes to the real world, so then only you will get to know. So, another point is there is age related change of drug of pharmacokinetic and dynamic, and we already mentioned about polypharmacy, that there are multiple comorbid conditions, there are multiple drug is used, and there is chances of drug food or drug herbal interaction in case of countries like India. So, underutilization of appropriate medication is there, almost there. So, Indian medical graduates must be aware about national program we have in India for elderly. Now, the recommendation from Medical Council of India, that expectation as how much Indian medical graduates should know, that competence of this topic, that they should have a clinical presentation, complication, assessment, they have to make an assessment for management of that there is a problem of nutritional disorder in elderly. Then the drug appropriately use a particular formulation for individual, because we talk about individual therapy, and in case of a patient having hepatorenal dysfunction, or if you have some problem like elderly with fever, immune suppression, malignancy, neutropenia, HIV, and during the travel, how they should be used, know about national program, also should have a background of knowing the epidemiology, pathogenesis, and clinical evaluation, and some of the social problem in a current era like isolation, abuse, and change of family structure, and you need to also address the ethical issue for elderly. Now, if you go in more detail, and as per recommendation from MCI, that you need to know that etiopathogenesis of cause, clinical presentation, like for example, how we are going to manage in case of vascular event or depression or dementia, or in case of personality changes, or patient having osteoporosis or different comorbid condition, or patient undergoing surgery, or there is a fall history which is usually happen, and it is affecting, if it is affecting the visions in case of visual loss in elderly. So, priorities for selective learning objective is that Indian medical graduates should know about health problem of geriatric population, and question here is how to prevent this. and also know about national program and all detail which we talk about and comorbid condition for elderly population. Now, let us start with a background. If you look at the definition of WHO, elderly is defined as chronological age beyond 60 and 65 as you become old and older. So, when you write in prescription for patient having elderly or geriatric population, there are some unique challenges is there. And at the same time, medication need to be used with very special precaution, and there should be good communication of age related changes, because there is change in pharmacokinetic and dynamic of the drug. And try to avoid a polypharmacy, as there could be drug-drug interaction or drug-food interaction. So, when you prescribe a drug, you need to know that there are altered pharmacokinetic, what I already said, in terms of absorption, distribution, metabolism or excretion, we call it ADME. Now, what are the changes in absorption is it reduces salivary secretion as the age progresses, change in the stomach pH, blood flow is changed, gastric motility is changed. So, when you talk about distribution, you can see that though the muscle mass is actually reduced, so there is reduction of serum albumin. So, you can see that how the alteration take place in terms of volume of distribution, that there is increased fat store. So, there is an increased volume of distribution of lipophilic drug. It also have different, like if they reduce plasma protein, then there will be more free drug, or you see that volume of distribution change along with the body waters. So, in terms of metabolism, what is the change, that we have a hepatic function, it decline, renal function is decline. So, once the hepatic function is declined, so it will alter the fast metabolism when you give the drug administered orally, and also increase plasma tissue concentration of the drug. So, it alters the blood circulation also in vivo also. So, there is also change in metabolism in phase 1 and phase 2, and while affecting with the aging. Similarly, elimination also it is bit, because renal capacity will go down, will decrease. So, excretion of the drug, it depend on renal flow or glomerular filtration rate. So, also it is affected tubular secretory process for urea and creatinine. So, all these function will be diminished with elderly. So, another, it will be complicate the matters if the patient already having a congestive cardiac failure or diabetes or hypertension. So, what changes you get pharmacokinetic, similar changes you get it in dynamic action also, because it will alter the sensitivity of receptor, or expression of receptor is different, it decrease, and also signal transaction, or also increase penetration of the drug into blood brain barrier. So, you may have more side effect or CNS side effect or sedative in elderly along with this. Now, taking some of the example, you have an anticholinergic drug which is psychotropic drug like tricyclic antidepressant. So, elderly are more prone to have excessive dry mouth, blurring visions or constipation, or worsening of symptoms, like when you talk about patient having benign prostatic hyperplasia in elderly, or effect on cardiovascular, that it will affect the orthostatic hypertension, because in elderly there is a loss of baroreceptor reflex and also change in cerebral blood flow. So, take an example of one case report. This is a patient with elderly which visit to the general surgery with symptoms of dribbling of urine, sense of incomplete bladder evacuation, or there is a weak urinary system. So, when it was examined, rectal examination, it was found that there is an enlarged prostate, you call it BPH, was made, and patient was given tamsulosin, which is alpha 1D selective blockers, 0.4 milligram orally. Later on, patient developed a cold where it was prescribed an antihistaminic diphenhydramine, and after that, that condition of urinary symptoms worsened. Here the question is, what is the reason for worsening of the symptoms, and what are the other pharmacological options you can have in patients suffering from BPH in elderly patient. Now, if you go detail, like you should not select antihistaminic like dihydrophenamine, because with cholinergic, anticholinergic effect in narcolepsy. So, that is why that there is a worsening of the symptoms, because if you see that you give alpha 1 blocker, why? Because it prevent the prosthetic and bladder neck relaxation, and that is why combination of these two drugs is worsening the symptoms. So, you need to avoid in case of BPH when you give alpha 1 blocker, and you cannot give it anticholinergic drug. So, the factor responsible for increased risks of drug interaction in elderly, one point is polypharmacy, then there is a long term medicine that continuously they take it because of chronic situation. As already mentioned, we have change of kinetic and dynamic, and there is also problem with self prescription, and there are lot of drug in developing countries we get it over the counter drug which should be avoided. So, if you look at this case, 62 years female who came to internal medicine OPD, and she complained of increased thrust, micturition is frequency is increased, and also developed fatigue and loss of weight in the past couple of months. When the blood sugar was checked, it was 400 milligram per deciliter, and glycosylated hemoglobin is 8%. So, it was diagnosed as type 2 diabetic mellitus was made, and treatment was given as chloropropamide tablet 100 milligram once a day. Later on she developed that toothache, and she was given aspirin 650 milligram 6 hourly, and later on patient she developed anxiety, sweating, palpitation, weakness and ataxia. The question here is why can you explain that why she developed the symptoms and what are the alternative analgesic can be given. If you see in detail, when you concomitantly use aspirin, it displaces sulfonylurea from plasma protein binding. So, there is the problem with hypoglycemia, we have to be careful, this is the emergency in case of hypoglycemia, and she was given a glucose and it was improved. So, you can have other than aspirin, you can have paracetamol and ibuprofen. Now, there are measures to prevent adverse effect in elderly, and that is what treatment should be judiciously used. Limit the polypharmacy, avoid the pill for all ill, calculate the appropriate dose for particular drug, and at the same time if it is you are using a narrow therapeutic index drug, there should be therapeutic drug monitoring, and then only appropriately you select or avoid the self prescription. So, here some of this point need to be looked at when you prescribe the medicine. What is the indication you are prescribing? The medication effective for this condition, are you calculating the dose correctly, or you are giving communication direction to the patient about the compliance, or practically you make them understand? Is it clinically significant when you think of there could be drug interaction or drug disease or drug put interaction? You have to see the clinical relevance, and so that you can avoid the duplication, and whether this treatment, because tolerability is an issue. So, you have to see when you prescribe, is it tolerable, or also affordability, or is there any alternative treatment is there. So, if you look at this case, 60 years postmenopausal woman presented in orthopedic department, her complaint is backache, also myalgia, and she also complained of fatigue and height is reduced over the past few months. Hemoglobin was 9 gram per deciliter. Then dextro was done, it was suggestive of osteoporosis. Then she was given alendronate 10 milligram orally once a day, and along with that, because since hemoglobin level was less 9 gram per deciliter, so he was given iron daily. So, here the patient did not have any improvement after continue for 6-month treatment. So, question here is what could be probable reason for no improvement after taking the medicine also, and is there any communication gap of prescriber. Now, if you see the case, the drug interaction between alendronate and iron supplement is there, because it displayed. So, once you give iron supplement, it decreases the absorption of alendronate. So, there should be gap of giving. So, the prescriber should have told the patient or make them understood that please take alendronate before food, and like there should be a gap of giving the medicine. So, when you talk about a potential barrier why there is no improvement of adherence or compliance issue. So, you can see number of issue, compliance issue, and when you say elderly they have a memory deficit. So, you have to also motivate the caregivers. There could be barrier of language what you speak, you have to speak their local language, or literacy issue, cultural belief is there. So there are a lot of problem, pride, denial. So you have to look at all the problem and you have to develop the skill how to solve this problem. So general instruction is that you explain the instruction of each prescription in detail, make them understand, so that regime is as simple you want to make it, and also try to prescribe oral drug instead of injectable, that this could be a practical problem, and keep in mind a drug interaction about drug-drug interaction, or when you use a multiple one drug, or encourage the patient regarding benefit, that when you stick to the compliance of the patient. So identify patient need of the treatment for diagnosis of improvement and have a comprehensive view and looking at the symptoms of the drug. So here the point you need to look at that if it is polypharmacy, there should be careful monitoring, and it is important to have that it's not all medicine. You also think of what are the non-pharmacological treatment or alternative treatments are available for geriatric population. Now here if you see drug-drug interaction, you can take an example of ACE inhibitor or potassium sparing diuretics causes hyperkalemia. So you can have a number of example, or benzodiazepine which is antipsychotic, it induces the sedation, confusion, or might affect the cognition, or may result a fracture. So you can take number of example, but the point here it need to be understood that over prescription and under prescription, you have to take a judicious that what is the optimum requirement for that particular patient, so that you can use the medicine. That is what the important point is. So when you talk about elderly, it is important to have non-pharmacological treatment modalities. What are it is available? One thing is education and psychological conditioning, in terms of that they should have a comfort therapy, about the comprehensive, should have a mild exercise, all the point of physical and occupational therapy, or you have a psychological therapy for counseling, because family structure is changing. So you have to be careful about that. Now how to make it that compliance is better or it is making adherence. So if you see, you provide all the information, keep the direction, make them understand, or maybe you can educate the spouse and partner or caregiver. Looking at this, one case study is of male 78 years, fell down 1 year ago, fractured the left hip, surgically it was repaired. Then it was given the warfarin to prevent deep venous thrombosis. 6 months later, patient presented to emergency that particular patient had severe headache, bleeding from the nose and gum. CT was done, it was diagnosed as cerebral hemorrhage. The question here is, after investigation, what could be the probable reason for patient complaint, and how you take a precaution to prevent a complication. As you see that after the surgery, warfarin is given approximately 2 to 3 months until the activation, like you have a reduced chances of deep venous thrombosis. So here that concomitant medication is very, very important, because that is why the patient develop cerebral hemorrhage. In order to have adherence, that there are lot of tools are there. You can educate the patient to have medication record. You can have drug calendars or medication boxes. So there are so many, like meter dose inhaler. So there are so many tools are there, so they can be familiar with them. So if you look at this case, 80 years old female met with a road traffic accident. She survived, but she had that same experience of nightmares. She is depressed, flashback of that particular scene. Then she was given a sertraline 100 milligram by the psychiatrist. So later 1 month after, she came to the emergency with the caregivers, complaint of dizziness, tremor, diarrhea, agitation. Now here if you see that, take a detailed history, husband revealed that there was few tablet was left on her bed also. So what is the reason for prescribing sertraline? As you know that she had this background, what might be the cause of later symptoms, and she developed all these symptoms has to be brought to the emergency. So if you go in detail, that treatment was given for road traffic accident, post traumatic stress disorder, but here the medicine you are taking excessive, it was overdose of this medicine. So one has to be very, very careful about elderly patient, especially with comorbid situation like stroke, depression or dementia. So educate information is very much is needed. So, you have to use prescription appropriately, there should be good communication, you should encourage the people to have more compliance, better compliance, and also calculate the dose, adjust the dose adequately. Here, what are the points you have to be avoided, that please remember that do not hurt the patient, always respect, do not hold a stereotype negative attitude to the elderly population. So, one has to be very, very careful about how you tackle the elderly population. You should have a positive mode so that compliance is better and they will come. There are some error take place because of polypharmacy, because of dose calculation is wrong, or when you look at comorbid condition like CVS or chronic renal disease or liver disease, appropriately dose should be calculated, and that is what the important point is. Judiciously use the prescription, judiciously use the medicine. So, when you look at this prescription of elderly, one has to be keep in mind that there is some change when you look at PK/PD of elderly. So, you try to avoid the pill for multiple disease, for each disease you should not use the prescription, and also calculate as per as body surface area or body weight of the particular patient. Try to educate so that they make them understand in local language, and also try to protect the autonomy of elderly when you talk. So, there are ethical consideration, encourage, you should have a positive attitude. So, we have a list of references you can go through, you can read that, and thank you very much all the reviewers and RUD members of my center PGI Chandigarh. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you are ready for attempting the multiple choice question, and also please assess the MCQ in the assignment section and submit the answer. We request please do complete the prescription evaluation as per the tutorial, which I have already been, you have been already assigned. And thank you very much. Happy learning. Thank you.